All right. Fuck me. Slick, real slick. Man. Fucking break. Fuck. Wow. All right, I'm gonna mute the microphone real quick because I'm gonna go through here and hammer some of these nails down a little bit more. And since the camera is attached to a pole clamp that's attached to this top plate here, it's gonna be really loud. So I'm gonna mute the mic. Gonna be watching and not chatting? All good. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good night. Good Wednesday night. Hope you're staying warm. What I'm gonna be doing right now is I need to get something above that thing so it doesn't keep washing out the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the nail gun up here, and I'm gonna go grab some extra nails real quick. Basically straighten this wall out and then put that double top plate in. So I'm gonna go grab the nails. I'll be doing that, and yeah, pretty much it. So again, thanks for watching. when I make this tracer, the person who created it using motor, it's about $30 on Amazon, but I'll probably find it cheaper on eBay or Craigslist. Yeah, you meant the tracker. Okay, $30 motor on Amazon. Yeah, that's still, I mean, that seems pretty cheap for a decent little motor, but yeah, let me know what you find. Again, I do want to see what that project ends up being, so I want to see what you put into it when it's all said and done. Slippery. Gotta be careful. God, my typing. Yeah, I do it all the time. So, if it wasn't obvious what I did just there, basically I unscrewed all 3 of these braces. I just put a clamp on that one right there against the little kind of piece that I have stuck onto the deck there, and then I used the clamp to actually push it in to the desired distance, which I had measured already up on top, and then I wrote that measurement down here. So once I clamped it, got it to where I needed to go, then I screwed the thing back in. I'm gonna do the same with the other 2 now. All 3 of them are out, no problem, it's gonna stand up straight, but it's just, this is about getting it kind of right where it needs to go. motor for 15 bucks on eBay. Nice. Yeah, good stuff, man. All right, so I got that thing measured and it looks pretty good now. Basically what I was trying to do, if you're just catching this now, is I was looking down this this top plate here, this double top plate. Actually, it's only single top plate right now. I'm about to put the second board on here. But I wanted to make sure that the distance between the board and then this string was the same all the way throughout. Which is going to be helpful because then when I go to put my rafters on, I don't have to have these weird distances that are changing as I go down the wall. So now let me go ahead and bring my double top plate up here, the second board that's going to sit on top of this thing, and then I'll nail it in and I'll go from there. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. I think this will be a little bit better. Well, I need to do it for a few reasons. One is I'm actually going to put a board up there kind of where I had my camera set up. So I need to, you know, have that fixed. Hopefully that's not as bright. Yeah, it still is bright. Okay, whatever. It's fine. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to put these things up here and shoot them in. I'm actually happy to be getting this progress done tonight. I wasn't really sure how things were going to be going. Just given, you know, how it's getting kind of icy and everything here. But it feels okay. So I'm still going a little bit. Be right back. All right. All right, so just to catch you up, basically what I'm doing is I'm just putting that double top plate on. So as you can see, if you look down there, I've got one layer, like 2 layers, coming back this way, and then only 1 layer there. So I basically, because the reason I did that is I had this wall, this 30-foot wall, built in 2 15-foot sections. So I put a 15-foot section up and then braced it, put the other 15-foot section up and braced it. And then actually just a second ago, I basically took those screws out, kind of made sure that it was in line. I've got a string that's going along here. I'll see if you can see it. You see it bouncing a little bit there. So I got a string that I used to make sure that wall was in line. Now I'm doing it. Joe Philly, how's it going? Good to see you. There was a wall up yesterday. I don't recall seeing it. Yeah, it's been up for, I think I put it up last week. I think so, yeah. Yeah, last week sometime. It's just been kind of crazy with all the snow and crap. You were here yesterday, I believe, or I don't know, maybe a couple days ago. And it was like I just kept having to shovel snow and all this stuff. But yeah, the wall's been up, but just now I got it made sure that the bottom and the top were both in line. And now I'm putting a double top plate on. So it's good to see you stop in. It's actually, the progress is starting to, I'd say, look pretty good. I like to see these steps, these big steps like this. Of course, next thing is getting the roof rafters on the other side. Then it's really going to look like the full shape. Not sure how I missed that. Yeah, actually, I really ought to clip it because it's kind of cool. I had the camera down below. I had it kind of near where my my little lean-to is, where I keep all my stuff. And it was actually, it wasn't that slick, but the walls themselves were sitting on, because it had been snowed on and snowed on and snowed on. I kept blowing the snow off, so it was okay, but they had these ice patches underneath them. So when I went to go lift them up, they would start sliding a little bit, and you get I hope this thing does not freaking slide off, because it's going to take me with it. Not sure how I missed that. Yeah, like I said, I'll clip it so you can see it. Getting closer every day, How about you? How's things going with you? Hope you're staying warm, having a good week. Hope you get Monday off if you work a normal job or not. Hope you get Monday off. We have Monday off. I'm also taking Friday off. I might do a long stream on Friday. Let me go put that other board in down at the other end, and then I'll come back over here. All right, double top plate is on. Loving it. Just another thing to check off the list. Keep moving, you know? So double top plate's on. The next thing is really to basically, I think, just to measure the distances that I need for my rafters, because my rafters, which are going, yeah, I'll see if I can show you here, from here on top of this wall back to there, which you can just barely see it right now because it's kind of dark, but that wall back there. Anyways, Joe Philly, I work a weird job where I have unlimited vacation. Oh, nice. We aren't actually given regular holidays. They kind of say, hey, we all have Monday off. Really small companies, you probably won't know if I have Monday off until Friday. Luckily, I can work from home on the bad weather days, so I can roll with the punch. He's like, God dang, man, come on. Are you building the rafters or ordering them? They're common rafters. So there's really not anything to build in this case. So these common rafters means it's just like one board. And that's one of the nice things about this style that I'm doing here, this double shed roof. So don't need to have this on. So instead of having those built up like trusses, you know, like you have the triangles that have all the little joints and stuff in them, and so these are not trusses, these are just common rafters. So I basically just take a 2x10, notch it up here, notch it down here, set it on top of both walls, and there you go. Now, I don't know if you remember, actually I'm sure you were in here seeing when I was putting these other ones up, the ones that I'm actually standing on right now, on this side, you can actually see it here, kind of. I had the metal bracket that put it right into that beam. The other side is sitting on top of the thing. So common rafters all the way around. So it's just no extra, actually no extra work, still work, but unlike trusses, where on a typical house you have the trusses and most people will have them built, you know, and order them that way. It seems to be cheaper. Most people do that around here. So that's cool though with your job, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. I got my hand in a few things, but right now I'm still working a 9 to 5. It's actually a really, really good job, so I'm actually not like, you know, I don't really have any heartburn over it. You don't have any you're not familiar with using common rafters? That's new to me, right? Yeah, most houses have trusses and stuff, but you know, also the only other thing that's different here is, so I'm going to have what they call like a cathedral ceiling, so I don't have any attic. So again, you see what I'm standing on here. Basically all I'm doing is underneath, it's going to look like that. It's going to be exposed. On the top, I'm going to have insulation, you know, because you have to really on the roof. So on top of this, I'm just going to have a sheet of insulation. Same thing with that one. There's going to be no attic. It's just going to be an exposed ceiling, which is going to be painted plywood. And then on top of that, I'm just going to have sheets of insulation. I saw the cell phone wiggling a little bit. It got a little bit of wind, not really bad though. Yeah, cool. Well, let me think about it real quick and see what I'm gonna do right now, because I'm a little bit hesitant to. If I'm just gonna go take the measurements, the next thing I really have to do is actually straighten out that wall, or at least check it. I could probably go do that. Let me see what time it is. Which is basically what I did up here with this string. I'm gonna do it on that wall back there too. All right, it's about 8 o'clock. I got some time to work. That's good. So I'm gonna move back inside then, which is good. Nice. I don't think I have anything else to do up here. Let me think about it real quick. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back up here. Thanks for watching. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and move the camera over here so we can see kind of what's going on inside. I'll probably take it down here off the roof. I think that's probably the best way to go. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Probably the best. Take a little bit of repositioning here. Actually, no. For time's sake, I'm just gonna leave it up. Next stream, I will move it down there probably, but for right now, not going to. All right, hold up. Sometimes it gets a little weird when I move the camera. Actually, yeah, I can move it. We're good. Well, it'll work. All right, so I'll hold it while I take it down there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, right. I'll be saying that when I slide off the freaking roof, as icy as it is. I'm actually lucky I didn't have any really bad ones today. It was getting a little slick there. I actually found, so at first I used the leaf blower to get all the snow off, and then I actually used the kind of a shop broom to start brushing the rest of it off because it was just a little bit wet today. It got above freezing for a big chunk of the day today. But then once I started doing that, for whatever reason, it was getting like really slick, you know? And so I started walking around. I brushed a piece off and walked a little bit on it, and it was like slippery, like icy. So I think it was better just to leave the little bit of ice and grapple. You know, I don't know if you call it grapple, but that really tiny, like kind of beads of snow. Better leave that on there, and it was like a little bit of traction almost. Kind of weird, but you know, learn about stuff like that. All right, carry this thing on in here. I haven't brought the camera back in here in a while. I've never heard the word grapple, people. It's I don't know if you I wasn't talking about grapple people. I don't know, maybe there's a little miscommunication there, but it's like the type of snow. So it's like little, like they look like Dippin' Dots. Oh, okay. I was like, grapple people. I haven't heard that either, honestly. Come on now. So yeah, they're like, they look like Dippin' Dots. And it just snow falls like that. Not even on the phone, and I have no idea how I typoed that. Yeah, me neither. Nice. Well, good job. All right, let me go ahead and move my stuff around here. I'm gonna grab a light. I need one more light in here, and then I'll get started. Plug that phone back in. All those 2x4s, all the 2x4 sports you have remind me of the laser beams in a bank where a cat burglar has to sneak through them all. Yeah, right? It's like, let's see here. These are actually pretty well spaced apart though, fortunately, but not moving the scaffolding through them is like sneaking through the alarms in a freaking bank, because that's the one that I have to literally like tilt it and kind of get the like supports under it, you know? Back there it's nuts. Not all those are in though, to be fair. But yeah. Got it. You know how it is. This one, I was actually going to put one of them up. I'm actually going to set a couple up real quick. Pushing back this way, it's I don't know for sure. It should be absolutely fine, but I try to piece together in my head the way things are going to work out, and my mind is telling me that in the middle of this thing here, the most of the weight of these rafters should be going just straight down on the beam, on the beams that are going straight down onto the posts. But I'm also thinking, well, there's a little bit of that weight that could be being transferred laterally, so I'm going to put another extra support up there. It may just be totally stupid and not necessary, but I try to be careful about stuff like that. You know, if I can do one little thing to kind of avoid a catastrophic disaster, because eventually what's going to happen is, and this all makes sense to me, is I'm going to have walls that are going in here from this beam over to that wall there, and that I'm actually going to sheathe that probably with plywood, or at the very least use some of that that metal tape, that metal like plumber's tape with the holes in it. The strap, you know, I don't know if you know, I'll have to get some and show you what I'm talking about, but I want to provide some shear strength in that direction, because right now I basically just have it on the outside. I'm going to have this clerestory wall up here, and it makes sense to me that I want some shear strength in this direction, that right in the middle of the building, that I don't have right now. It may be overkill. I do that a lot with stuff. I overthink it, but I want to do it because it makes sense. You know, it makes sense to me. Anyways, I'm always in favor of doing something above and beyond if it's not much extra effort. So, and shear strength is very important, you know, if it's like a high wind type stuff. But well, hey, thanks for watching, brother. Thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna grab another light here real quick. Yeah, I have some of that metal strapping stuff. Haven't used it for your case, but I imagine it works. Yeah, it is one of the ways that people can add shear strength to their walls. The other way that people will do it is, and I know you have some of this building experience, so this is probably something you've done before. But and actually, I can take some of these diagonal supports that I have back here. I can for sure take some of those off because I've already got that sheathing on there, that 8 foot of sheathing, and that's pretty damn strong. So these ones like this, these supports like this, right now I just have it screwed into the studs there, and I had that for when I originally didn't have the sheathing on there. I just put that stuff up. But you know, people will do this thing where they'll basically cut essentially that shape. They'll cut out into those studs the width of a 2x, which is 1.5 inches. They'll cut that in there and cut a space to actually inlay that stud like that, and that provides extra shear strength. So I know that's a way that people do it. I'm not going to do it just because I don't really need to. Again, I'm using sheathing on the outside. I'm going to put the metal strap on the inside. It's an easier way to do it in my mind, and I don't have to reduce the integrity of those studs or anything. So. Alright, got out of the light here. Took it out of the basement where I really don't need it at all. So many lights up here. This whole setup is crazy. Oh my god, that's bright. There we go. How about that? That's a little bit better. Cool. Sounds like a lot of extra work though. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Makes me lightheaded just thinking about doing all that extra work. I don't want to do any extra work. Okay, now there we go. That's actually pretty good. I like that. It's funny, I think about this sometimes when I'm like up on the roof, and up there I have these lights that are like positioned under my face, and it looks like one of those scary story things, but my face is like if someone holds a flashlight like that, and I'm like, man, people when they see the thumbnails for this thing, they must be like, what the hell is that? Because it looks really like freaky, I really look like some backwoods like crazy person, man. Okay. Let me stop freaking talking and actually get something done here. So, Joe Philly, do you follow any other crafting channels? I don't think I've seen you in any other channels before. I know some of the people here, M-Slave, his channel, of course. Maybe you don't, but he carves wood there. I've seen you pick in there. And then there's a few other crafting people, but I don't think I'd seen you around any others. Maybe you just watch like gaming channels mostly. Yeah. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I remember that. I remember they had the stuff where they had that magic dust that at the very end he'd like throw it in the fire and a big green. Yeah. warm today. Actually, I'm really happy that it got above freezing today for a little while. Don't really see many build channels. Haven't followed many people. Yeah, that is true. There really aren't. Not like this. There's a guy who builds a boat. His channel name, I believe, is Jake in a Boat, and I catch that sometimes. And his channel has a little bit of a rough feel, kind of like this in a sense, where it's like sometimes, I don't know. I feel like he makes a lot of the same mistakes that I do probably, and it's kind of like endearing for me to watch that and see someone like, oh, yeah, I do that shit all the time, of course. But that's like a pretty big build. I haven't for sure know anybody else building a house, not that I've seen, but programming channels, hell yeah, dude. That's honestly, I started checking out a few of those too. I don't really do any programming right now, but like all just like VBA stuff at work, and I started learning some of these like Ruby scripts for SketchUp, the program I built the house with. I started learning a little bit of that, but I need to learn a lot more. So I guess VBA, I don't know if you'd really call that a programming language, but I love programming in general. Yeah, that's cool. Want to do more of that once I get this whole thing done. What do you do? Are you working on any good programming projects right now that you could even talk about? All right, I'm gonna go and cut some stuff. So I was going to. I forgot my glasses, my safety glasses. I don't know where I set them. Set. Okay, whatever. Don't need them. VBA can do quite a bit of stuff. I'd call that a language for sure. Those who do backend code for websites, not the pretty stuff. Lots of database, SQL, SQL, and HTTP type of work. Okay, all right. That explains the interesting hours and that you were talking about. Makes sense. Okay. I just ordered a one of those little whatchamacallem, like the things that go on the back of the glasses that keep you can hang them from your neck. I lose my freaking safety glasses so often. It's like it wastes a hell of a lot of time, as I'm wasting more time. Here we go. All right, let me cut some stuff. Oh, I found them. So 12 foot. It's cool to me, probably not very interesting to people who might not know what they're looking at. One thing I need to work on is simulating stock market trades. Oh, damn. Use a sine wave with some parameters and some randomness built in. Oh, man. Good money. There you go. Well, it's like I like watching a guy. I watch his SketchUp channel. I've seen him do some SketchUp work, and I want to do that. Actually, after I get the house, maybe concurrent. Maybe once I get it dried in and get a little bit further along, I'd love to do some streams where I'm actually doing SketchUp because I don't know, man. To people who do it, it's kind of cool to watch, and it's like you get dialed in, you get in that kind of Zen mode, and start working pretty fast and building stuff. I think it's kind of cool. So. But yeah, the average person who doesn't care about it, probably not, but I enjoy watching it, and I think other people would who actually use the program. Okay. The 60 is kind of like, it's more like a 50. Ah, damn, I said that thing deep enough. Oh, now? Let's do it. Thanks for watching, by the way. I'm hoping that this weekend I'll be able to, maybe even Friday, because I'm off Friday, I'm going to, just depends. I don't know if he'll be here, but whenever this weekend, Friday, who knows? I'm gonna try setting it up with my laptop and at the very least a webcam that works really well, and then connecting the thing over Ethernet. I tried it once before, but it was really bad, and I think the reason is because I had to hook up to I was using my phone as an IP camera, and that was super slow. It just wasn't. It was nice, very cool to use, but I think it was just way too slow. So I'm gonna try it again, hooking my laptop up over Ethernet, and then running the webcam, and I think that'll be a lot it'll be better picture, better connection, and then if that starts working really well, I might try to tie in using this phone here as an IP cam over that Wi-Fi. At the very least, maybe just doing like a really low frame rate type deal. But I want to get the basics working first. The phone has been good, and actually the past week or so, the connection's been okay, but it's in the past it's cut out randomly and it kind of sucks. So anyways, okay, thanks for watching. Let me go ahead and get back to work here, and I'm going to cut these 2 extra braces and put them up, and then which is coming back in this direction, and then I'm going to basically put a string line up there on that wall. So phone is IP cam, good idea. Really easy to use, and in that sense, it's really nice. But again, when I tried it out, it was just too slow. For whatever reason, it was just kind of clogging the whole thing up, and it was not working that well. But I'm willing to try it again because this is a good camera. This phone has a really good camera, and then I have the benefit of being able to connect it to Twitch on OBS over the Ethernet, yeah. But like I said, I'm going to give it another shot. I just need to get the basics working first. Okay, so it's going up like that. This one. Basically going to be like this. See, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? So if that was going to be at a 45 cut, this one will be at a 45 cut too. But I tilted it. I made it shallower on that side, So I'm going to have to make it steeper on this side. I think that's right. We'll see. Give it a shot. Cool. Really good. I like it. See if you can see it here. No, there's no way. This looks like I'm holding snow. That's pretty much it. I was trying to show you what grapple looks like. It was kind of easy to see a second ago, but didn't really read on camera very well. So one of the things that with the IP camera, using my cell phone, I had to have it plugged in. I mean, I have it plugged in regardless, as much as possible when I'm doing the streaming, because actually most of the time it's because, I mean, it will run out of battery, of course, because it uses it up pretty fast. But when I have it out here, I try to do it so it actually stays warmer. You know what I'm saying? So if I get it charging right from the start, it'll stay warmer, and then it just responds better. You know, if it gets too cold, the phone will shut off. In fact, 2 streams ago, it did that. Phone shut off because it got too cold. I didn't have it plugged in. And the IP camera, I believe, eats up a lot of battery too. I used to use the IP webcam app on Android, which I believe is the same one that I have, to monitor my dog from work. Right? Yeah, I could see that being a really good use of it because you could have the frame rate really low, and I mean it's not like you're streaming out. The quality doesn't have to be that good. Worked pretty well, but it's eventually finicky and would eventually just crash. Right? Okay. I mean, yeah, that was essentially mine. It seemed like when I used it that it was just it just got slower and slower and slower, and OBS was just freaking out. I was having like 80%, 90% drop frames. It sucked. But that seems like a pretty good use. That's cool. Yeah. Imagine what we could do with just unlimited upload and download speeds. Nicest computer. Man. I'm doing alright with this stuff, you know. But still. I've worried about the internet more since I've been starting to stream. Okay. Oh yeah, of course it is. Joe Philly, what kind of upload and download speeds do you have? have Spectrum Internet, which is 200 down, 11 up for about 65 a month. Okay. They bought. Oh, missed this. I have a friend who recently bought a house in the middle of nowhere, and he and his wife both work from home, sometimes doing computer stuff. They don't have wired internet, so one of the contingencies on buying houses, they could go out there for a day and test a few hotspot internet providers to make sure they had enough bandwidth to survive. They bought the house and have internet, but they're going to put up a huge antenna on top of the house to improve the signal once it gets warm. Okay. Huh. Now we have, out here, there's wired internet, but it's like, I think down by the street. Now I'm not sure what the status of it is and how soon it's going to be before it's going to be in the area, but I actually get my internet, it's microwave internet. So it's actually beamed from across the valley from a tower over there, and then it's connected by, some kind of a backbone system up to Missoula or, whatever. But anyways, I have Spectrum Internet, 200 down, 11 up. 200, nice, 200 down. I think I have, dang, man, my download speed is probably 30. I think 30. And then, actually, I have, my upload is probably similar to yours, surprisingly. I don't know why that is, but, the download is way less. Sometimes it's good, sometimes, but I can usually get by with it. I mean, it's just sometimes videos are, choppy and stuff. But you're doing a lot of internet stuff, I guess it's nice to have extra download speed. Moose Pie Atwood 2. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'll call you Moose also, like Joe Philly said. You're already a follower, right? I feel like I've seen your name before. Maybe you've been in chat a little bit ago. But yeah, basically what's going on here. So obviously building a house. I'm putting up some braces here. This is just a little bit of something extra. It's not like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I have up here, especially on the walls, is from, I had it up there before I had all the sheathing on. So I use that stuff to keep it in place, to keep it from like racking to like going one side or the other. Now a lot of this OSB looks like plywood basically that I have here on the back side is doing that job for me. So eventually I'm going to be able to take a lot of this out of here, which will be really nice because then I'll be able to move this scaffolding around a lot easier. But right now I'm just putting something else up, just a little bit of something extra. Here, I'll show you. Next step, which I'll probably start tomorrow, is I'm going to be measuring the distance from this top plate here up to the one that's just above my head right now. And then I'm going to be cutting rafters, notching rafters so that I can set them up there, and that's going to make my roof. So that's the next step. That's going to be a big thing I'll be working on this weekend. Just got done doing some stuff up there with that wall. So yeah. Anyways, a little bit of a rundown. Thanks for stopping in and watching. Hope you're having a good Wednesday night. Let me know if you got any questions, anything you want to see. hopefully the connection here is still going good. I haven't seen Nightbot post, and it's supposed to post about every 10 minutes or something. But it wasn't posting while we were talking, Joe Philly, so it might just be that I know it has a timer, and I thought it was set for every 10 minutes, but I think the actual it has like a minimum number of messages that it's supposed to see. I thought so too. Okay, I just want to make sure, just because, like I said, I haven't seen my Nightbot talking at all, and I was like, maybe I'm just like missing something out. I think that might start to be a good tell. Except again, I believe that it actually has a minimum. It'll like check within a 10-minute window, check to make sure it has a minimum number of messages. Not totally sure about that. I need to go look back at that, but I was thinking, as much as I used to have, and still sometimes have, connection problems with my phone, I might want to go check on that and see if, again, that might start to be a good tell for me if the stream's going off. I just need to adjust the settings a little bit. And thanks for letting me know, Joe Philly. That's pretty damn solid. I like that. Okay, cool. Let's see what time it is now. I'll start having Nightbot post a clock for me too. Post what time it is. That's actually, just thought of that. That'd be a good thing to do. I'm gonna have Nightbot post a little like a little clock showing what time it is here. That'll be helpful for me, so I don't have to look at my 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 old phone here. So it's about 9:12. I think it's actually a good time for me because, like I said, the next big step is I'm gonna basically put a line up there, measure how straight that wall is, and then start taking measurements after I make sure that it is actually straight. Take measurements for my rafters. I've got a little bit of cleanup to do with this snow. I try to do it every night so I don't get a layer of ice on everything. So I think what I'll do is probably call it here in just a second, and yeah, and then I'll be back. I should be back tomorrow and Friday, during the day Friday even, and then this weekend I want to get some solid work in. Hopefully actually cutting the rafters and putting the rafters up there. That'll be awesome. I'll be psyched about that. Yeah, and I'm gonna update that Nightbot. I'm gonna get some getting posting times in there, mountain time in there. Maybe even post a little bit of a I don't know, link to the weather around here or something. Might be interesting to see. All right, Joe, Moose, and whoever else is watching in here, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. I will be back tomorrow, and should be back the next few days to really start getting some solid ass work in. Had a week that I was pretty much took off or barely did anything. Weather report would be cool. Okay, good. I thought it would. I thought it might be useful because you get to see what kind of shit I'm going through here, and get to see if it's going to be really crappy or whatever, and I'll try to get that worked out. Thanks for the input. All right, well, I appreciate you coming in here chatting, Joe, and Moose, and again, whoever else is in here. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Have a good night. Thanks for watching, and catch you again soon.